What's up, mother foxers? Alright, we are going to paint dye the dash. Yes, today we're going to do that. I have no idea how this is going to turn out because I have never sprayed dye through a gun before and I've never seen it done before. But we're going to do it. Let's see what happens. Alright, and the only color that I'm spraying is the scarlet red, or the porno red, because I have the black, because it's a two-tone dash. I have the black in a can, because there's just not that much black inside the car, so I didn't need that much, so I didn't feel the need to get that in a can when I have to dye the whole interior of the car, except for the door panels, because if you remember, I did get some very mint, hard to find manual door or manual window door panels for the car. So those things are mint, and I don't have to worry about those. The ones in there coming out, they're trashed. And they're very functional, but it's just they painted the whole thing black, and it's got that carpeting on the bottom. They painted it black. There's no fixing that. That's actually attached to the door. I think it's actually in combination with the door, but yes, I know it's a little loud. I got the heater on, but there it is. There is the dash, guys. Just gonna clean it up with some denatured alcohol. I think I'm just gonna leave these in. Probably be a good idea to pull them out, but she don't deserve it, right? But yeah, we'll get this cleaned up. I'm gonna use my Harbor Freight gun. Just because it doesn't, on its biggest fan, it's not that wide, whereas my Atom is. And if you've seen my last video, I was telling you these things didn't work for me right, and then I went and I always clean my guns, and I cleaned these ones even more thoroughly than you would. Not a lot of stuff came out of them, man. So, but then I started spraying water, and it was fanning fine, and acetone was fanning fine. I don't know. I don't know, man. But let's see what happens here, and yeah. But let me go ahead and get this cleaned up. All right. One of the things I'm not going to do is pull these out, just because this car has been in the south, and I'm thinking these are all intact and working pretty well. I don't want to disrupt that. I think if I go prying on stuff in here, it's going to start cracking, and I don't want to have to buy new parts. So we're just going to leave them. They work pretty well. Nothing is missing, which is surprising for this car. So we're just going to leave them in there, and we're just going to spray right through. I'm not going to worry myself about that. Just the stuff that's going to be seen, because I need to conserve this dye. And I bought, like, I think a quart of it, and it was pretty expensive. It was like 130 bucks, I think it was. Alright guys, there's the can. Here's the color swatch they gave with me. And there's the matchup. Looks pretty close. Close enough. So, there's no mixing to this stuff. All you gotta do is just dump it in the cup and spray. So, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, what have we learned? Well, I learned spraying out of a gun, dye out of a gun, actually works pretty well. And I think it seems like it makes the material go a little further. Because here is the can. I mean, this thing was full, guys, and I used probably about that much. That's it. It was several coats. Red doesn't coat as well. This red dye doesn't coat as well. It's hard to, it's very translucent. But one of the things I did learn, it's not like paint. Okay, so when you're spraying out of a gun, paint, different types of paint has different pot lives, which is, it won't coagulate in the gun or in, you know, the pot with a catalyst, because they have a catalyst in it or a hardener or whatever. And you can, some paints are an hour pot life, hour and a half, 2 hours. So you go and you spray a coat of paint, you let it dry, let it set for its 20 minutes. You're supposed to let it flash. Then you come back, do another coat. Stuff I've done for years on several things. Never had a problem with the gun spraying. I went to spray the second coat. The gun wouldn't spray right away. So I looked at the tip and there was some red stuff. Pulled the chunk out and it started spraying, but not as well. So I finished. After I was done, I dumped the dye back out in the cup and then took some acetone, dumped it in the gun, and just sprayed it out. Just sprayed it out. Didn't thoroughly clean it, just sprayed it out. Then dumped it back in, went to go do a third coat, and it was sprayed fantastic. So that's what you got to do. You can't let it sit in the gun. I don't think it's going to coagulate nearly as bad as paint, but it does not like to sit in there. So after, just put enough in there to do, if you're doing this, put enough in there to go ahead and spray one coat, and then dump some acetone, spray it out, and then just keep repeating that process of doing it, and you'll be just fine. So let's take a look. And look at that, man. You remember seeing that? Let me put a clip up here of what it looked like before. But yeah, look at that, man. Nice and shiny, nice and fresh. I even at one point turned these and got the other part of the roller on here, on all these. And yeah, man, it turned out pretty good. Yeah, it turned out well. So basically what I'm going to do is let this set overnight, demask that side, and then mask the red side, and then we'll spray, the black. And I got some SEM black dye, so that'll be better than LMR stuff. All right, it's a few days later, so I did buy some new tape, some 3M sharp lines, because I decided to go cheap at Menards one day and bought this stuff. Bought 2 rolls of this stuff. I don't think it's going to stick to wet super glue. Well, it doesn't. So this should be better to put a line on there so we can get our SEM dye. Yeah. It ain't LMRs. LMRs is pretty disappointing. Although their black did do pretty good, their red sucked. Well, there it is. As Mr. Burns would say, excellent. There she is, guys. Yeah. Pretty damn sweet, man. Brought that thing back from the brink, I guess. I guess I could put a before and after shot up here. As you can see, it was pretty tattered, but we got her. And as you can see, guys, this here isn't as shiny as this. That's because this was a low luster black, and I think that's all they had at the time. That's NPD. So I just took it. I just bought it. Wasn't exactly sure. I thought it meant satin. I didn't know. Apparently that's what it means. I mean, satin I think is a little bit more flatter than this, but this looks pretty good. I think it's pretty good. I guess if I want to shine it up, I can Armor All it, because this stuff is actually safe to Armor All. I found out in my other car. I don't really use Armor All, but I just use cleaners. But yeah, man, I think it's way better than it used to be. So yeah, man, jeez. Now we can get this in the car. That's a fun job. Not too bad, I guess. It's not overly, I don't know, it's not great. It's just kind of awkward to stick this in there, but I do gotta do a couple of wiring things inside the car there, but it's all done. And it's good to find out that being, 55 degrees is right now after I had heated it up here, then I shut it off to uh to dye. I didn't want to spray that in here while I got open flame going, but this stuff actually does pretty well when it's colder, when it's like 60 degrees, I think it was when I painted. So now I know I can do the insides in here at some point. I may have to do them one piece at a time because I just don't have enough room in here to do them all, which would be ideally good, but whatever, not a big deal. But yeah, so dyeing stuff in kind of a, I'm not saying like 40 degrees or 55 degrees. It was warmer when I painted. Let's just put it that way. One thing that I do know that you do not want to do with dye is do not paint this stuff in very high humidity. It does not like to work, especially the red. I think I seen Brutal did that a couple years ago when it was really high humidity and he sprayed red on and it was pink. So don't spray that stuff in high humidity. It's only like 46% in here. I have a humidifier detector gauge thingy bob here. Hey, just went up 1 degree. Anyway, and it's like, yeah, 46 degrees or whatever, but there it is. All done, man. So now I know this stuff is going to work really well spraying it out of a gun. Obviously the can stuff worked fine, but that's it, guys. That's all I got for you. Look at that, painted the dash. We can get it in the car. More to come on the engine. I'm trying to figure some stuff out here. I got to get all the parts to it. Still got to get the pistons, have the rods, have the lifters, and I got to get it balanced. I got to figure out where to do that at. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you later.